Trust no longer exists, and everyone is on the move. The light in the room is growing dimmer, time remaining 3 hours. The O-Blood player has the absolute advantage. Liu Zhengnan suddenly said from the corner, he just needs to disrupt the entire scene or find a way to restrain the other players, and he will be unbeatable. All bullshit. Zhong Jinlong kept looking at his phone, watching the time pass, and finally couldn't hold back any longer. He jumped up and smashed a beer bottle against the wall. Damn it, it must be Xia No. He picked up the broken bottle and approached Xia No. You're all scared, so I'll deal with her. The drunk woman looked at him with wide eyes and an excited expression. Zhong Jinlong, come on, I'm impressed. You're a real man. Zhong Jinlong took 2 steps, but was again blocked by Fang Tong. Are you looking for death, or do you not believe that I can bleed you first? Zhong Jinlong's eyes were bloodshot. Fang Tong instinctively took a step back, but still said, what you're doing is exactly what the game manipulator wants to see. He looked at everyone. This game, you should all know that it's a so-called dark reality show. That means there are audience behind the scenes. They just love to see us like this. Zhong Jinlong paused for a moment. Damn it, then what are we? Fang Tong is right. Hanya spoke up loudly on the sidelines. We all have chips, and those perverted bastards are always watching us. They just want us to kill each other. Liu Zhengnan grabbed his hair. Don't be impulsive. There must be a way out. He looked at Hanya. Is there any way we can make the O-type player admit that you are a doctor? Even if it's 1,500 milliliters of blood, you can still save him, right? Liu Zhengnan became more and more excited as he spoke. The other players can each contribute a sum of money. That's 20 million yuan. Evenly split would be 4 million yuan. We each contribute 1 million yuan. That's 5 million yuan. Liu Zhengnan's voice rose. We don't have to kill each other. We can cooperate like this. As long as the O-type player stands up himself, I can guarantee his safety. 5 million yuan will be given to him. I'm a lawyer. I can represent everyone in signing an agreement. We will safely take the blood, and everyone will complete their tasks. HLH. A derisive laughter echoed through the chamber. Xia No, laughing maniacally in the darkness, shook her head. Lawyer Liu, you're being too naive. The O-type player can collect the full 2 million yuan reward by just holding on for another 3 hours. Will he stand up on his own? Your agreement and guarantee are worthless here. Liu Zhengnan's face turned red again as he glared at Xia No. Are you forcing us to take action? The situation was once again on the brink of spiraling out of control. At this moment, all the phones began to buzz and vibrate. Dear players, 1 hour has passed. In order to ensure that you can complete the task smoothly, we have prepared the necessary props for you in advance. Props, everyone perked up. The props are in the secret room. After this hint, a faint grey text flashed on the phone screen for only a moment before disappearing. The others in the room rushed towards the direction of the miscellaneous cabinet. That was the only possible place to hide something. But only Fang Tang and Xia No, the girl in black, were still staring at their phones. Zibai, the last text, Master, I've recorded it. The text only appeared for 1/3 of a second, and it was in small grey font. So it's hard for the human eye to notice, unless you're highly focused, Xia No replied. Stop talking and tell me what the text said. The scholar's treasure has already appeared. Only the brave warrior's sword can obtain it. Zibai repeated the hidden text. The scholar's treasure, the brave warrior's sword. Fang Tong was nervously thinking, but his mind was blank. These cryptic clues, like riddles or poetry, gave him no idea. At this moment, the area near the miscellaneous cabinet was in complete chaos. Props. Finding the props would be completely different. But the props must never fall into the hands of others. In the only game where you can trust yourself, only finding the props yourself is the guarantee of survival. There are only 3 hours left. Either die together or leave here with 20 million yuan. ... In the dim light, the junk and cabinets seem like a bulging black monster. Zhong Jinlong was the first to think of turning on the flashlight on his mobile phone. After all, he had been through the streets and had the most experience in this chaotic situation. Moreover, he was holding a beer bottle, a highly lethal weapon. But Zhong Jinlong neglected the importance of teamwork. Over there, Liu Zhengnan held up his mobile phone and turned on the flashlight, shining it in Zhong Jinlong's eyes, dazzling him and making him instinctively close his eyes. Hanya had already picked up a chair and smashed it hard on Zhong Jinlong's body, throwing him off balance and causing the beer bottle to fall to the ground. Zhang Lie, who was small but more agile, had already jumped onto Zhong Jinlong's back and bitten his shoulder. Zhong Jinlong screamed in pain and grabbed Zhang Lie's hair, pulling it wildly. In the screams, drunk Zhang Lie was thrown to the ground with force. Zhong Jinlong held a handful of Zhang Lie's hair and crouched on the ground, coughing, while blood was gushing from his shoulder. "Damn bitch, you're so cruel." Zhong Jinlong was breathing heavily as he reached out to feel around on the ground, eventually finding the broken chair. He turned around and glared at the trio. "Stop fighting. Let's work together to find it." "Damn it, we were just talking about teamwork. Liu lawyer, you son of a bitch." Liu Zhengnan awkwardly stepped back, while Hanya gasped for breath and pulled out her phone to light the way. "He's right. We shouldn't fight anymore. Let's find the stuff first." Meanwhile, Fang Tong had already figured out the answer to the riddle clue. But the answer was so shocking. Zibai, "Master, this is the best chance to get the prop alone. You'll have the absolute advantage then." "No," Fang Tong thought to himself, "that's not enough. I have to ... I don't know what to say. It feels too dishonest." However, the black-clad girl, Xia No, had already picked up a metal bar and moved first. Fang Tong rushed over to her, and the two of them stood facing each other near the dead professor's body. "You're very smart. To be honest, out of the 6 of us, you're the smartest." Xiena's eyes shone brightly from under her hoodie. "Join me. You should know that I'm different from them. We're the only real players here. They're all idiots. Let's work together and get the prop together." Fang Tong shook his head. "I don't trust you." Xia No sighed and skillfully twirled the iron rod in her hand. "Believe it or not, I can disable you in less than 3 seconds. Fang Tong immediately turned around and shouted, "Come on, I know where the prop is." The few people who were searching among the junk and cabinets turned around. Fang Tong shook his head and smiled bitterly. "You're too stupid. Xia No searched the area before the game started, so the prop is not there." Dr. Hanya slapped her head and said, "Damn it, I'm too stupid." Lawyer Liu also stomped his foot in frustration. "Then, what else can we hide the prop in?" They all rushed over. With 5 people gathered together, Xia No lost her chance to retrieve the prop alone. She glared at Fang Tong with her clear eyes and said, "You'll regret it, idiot." Fang Tong remained unmoved and pointed to the dead professor's body on the spot. "The prop is right here, the scholar's treasure." Among those present, the only one who could be called a scholar was the dead man with glasses, a university professor. The warrior's long sword was just a metaphor. To retrieve the scholar's treasure, one needs the warrior's long sword. In other words, one needs to dissect ... Fang Tong knelt down and held his breath as he turned over the professor's body. Everyone gasped. A pool of blood on the ground had swelled the professor's belly, making it look like a big ball. The bruising from decomposition was already quite evident, and Dr. Honya, a beautiful physician, covered her nose and crouched down. He had something inside him. He's been dead for so long that the abdominal cavity is filled with putrid gas. Under the action of the putrid gas, the thing inside his stomach has penetrated the peritoneum and come out from above the diaphragm. These medical terms now sound so disgusting. Fang Tong added, the professor said when he died that he wasn't volunteering for the game. He was tricked into it, so he was already arranged. To come in with something inside his stomach, several people said, looking pale. The girl in black, Zia No, then snorted coldly. The professor died well. If he hadn't died first, according to the game rules, we would have had to perform a live dissection right now. Liu lawyer covered her mouth and felt like vomiting. The others were also swallowing saliva. Zhong Jinlong turned around and quickly retrieved a piece of beer bottle fragment, handing it to Honya. Doctor, you come over here. You're the most professional here. Honya kept backing away. I can't do it. I'm just an internal medicine doctor, not a forensic pathologist. In medical school, at least interned in dissecting corpses, right? Liu Zhengnan coughed. Dr. Honya, we have no choice now. None of us have ever done this before. Honya's face had turned a terrifyingly pale color. I can't do it. Just then, a strange sound of puff came. A black iron rod with sharp iron spikes was precisely pierced into the corpse's abdomen. As the upright iron rod was pierced into the corpse, Zia No jumped onto the corpse's belly and stepped on it fiercely. Everyone in the scene was stunned. She really did it, without hesitation, and went straight for it. Wow! Liu Zhengnan crouched on the side and threw up directly. The drunk woman staggered back. Zhong Jinlong and Honya, however, instinctively took a step forward and stared at the corpse. The corpse began to tremble and twist. Zhong Jinlong screamed and clutched his chest with a pale face. Damn it! Don't be afraid. It's just the muscle and nerve reflex of the dead body. Fang Tong licked his lips. Having experienced it once, he was no longer as afraid. Damn it, you know this too. Zhong Jinlong was taken aback. At this moment, as Zia No jumped on the corpse and moved around, a strange sound of puff kept coming from the professor's body below. This is the rotten gas in the corpse's body being expelled again. Zia No looked at Fang Tong on the corpse and said, "You're really professional. Have you ever killed someone or dissected a corpse?" She even had the mood to joke. Fang Tong felt a chill down his back and thought that the black-clad girl was becoming more and more terrifying. Honya bit her lip, but seemed to have made up her mind, and then jumped onto the corpse and stepped on it fiercely with Zia No. One more. The body has already stiffened. We need to crush the ribs to let the force of the internal bones come out, otherwise the iron bar won't be able to cut through. Honya closed her eyes and called out as she stepped on the body. Zhong Jinlong shook his head repeatedly and touched the Zhongkui tattoo on his body. This is going to bring bad luck. I won't do it. Fang Tong sighed and jumped on. A strange dance among the three began. They were dancing strangely in the chest and abdomen area. The situation was funny but eerie. A crunching sound came. The ribs of the body pierced the chest cavity and protruded upwards. Zia No held the iron bar tightly with both hands. Using the sharp iron spike at the end, she followed the broken opening in the chest cavity and went up from the inside out, finally cutting open the abdominal cavity. Using the iron bar, she picked up the mixed body parts of fat and blood and glared at Fang Tong challengingly. Now, it's your turn or mine. Fang Tong rolled up his sleeves, others subconsciously backed away. Fang Tong stretched out his hand, passed through the thick fat and muscle, and felt around in the cold and sticky abdominal cavity. The slippery rolling one is the digestive organ, with the large intestine, stomach. Double quote Zibai's voice kept ringing out. Damn it, Zibai, shut up. Fang Tong felt a wave of nausea and bloodily pulled out a long, rectangular box wrapped in a bag of scraps from a gaping hole. The plastic bag, stained with bile and gastric juice, was trembling in Fang Tang's hand as he held it tightly, feeling a sharp pain. Zia No sneered, burned by gastric juice. Hurry up and wash your hands. Fang Tong carried the long box and ran to the water tap near the storage cabinet. After washing the bloodstains off his hands, Fang Tong sat down heavily on the ground, feeling dizzy and weak. He felt around his body. Honya hurried over and supported him, pressing his forehead. What's wrong with you? Fang Tong had already started experiencing tinnitus and finally managed to take out the medicine bottle. Honya helped him open the bottle, then gasped. The others gathered around. What's wrong? Honya shook her head. This is Pasolin to prescription painkiller. It's for the late-stage cancer patients to relieve pain. Everyone looked at Fang Tong with a strange expression. Fang Tong swallowed the medicine and smiled faintly. Brain cancer, stage 4. Everyone fell silent. Fang Tong slowly stood up, ignoring the looks around him. These looks of fear, pity, or sympathy meant nothing to him. He just felt that this game had given him a sense of being alive. Solving the puzzles and personally extracting the props from the corpse's stomach. This had given him a sense of excitement and stimulation that he had never experienced before. Zia No pulled out the iron bar and stood to the side, watching Fang Tong intently with her eyes darting back and forth. At this moment, the drunken woman Zhong Lia suddenly bowed to Zia No. I'm sorry, I'm apologizing to you. You were really amazing just now. Zia No ignored her and only whispered, open the props, we don't have much time left. Game remaining time, 2 hours 20 minutes. Lawyer Liu and Zhong Jinlong continued to wash the blood stains off the box. Zhong Lia, however, pulled Honya aside. I'm so thirsty. There's a pot here, let's boil some water. Having heard this, the people who had been in the room for over 5 hours all felt thirsty. Honya found an iron pot, and Zhong Lia pulled out a box of expired alcohol blocks. They also found an alcohol sprayer, a simple device that could spray fire using alcohol blocks. A fire was lit, the pot was cleaned, and a large pot of boiling water was made. Zhong Lia then ran to the cabinet and pulled out several yellowed porcelain cups. At this point, the long box had been cleaned. How could such a large object be put into the professor's stomach? Did he swallow it whole? There are no wounds on his body where he could have had surgery to put something in. Zhong Jinlong shook his head. Liu Zhengnan coughed. He must have been knocked out first. Double quotes, the chip on his neck may have anesthetized his nerves, so he may not even know there's something in his stomach. The plastic wrap on the box was slowly unraveled. Everyone's breathing quickened. What prop can it break the current deadlock? At this point, Zhong Lia held a set of porcelain cups and put them down. Drink some water first. Maybe we can all leave with a lot of money. With money, any trouble can be solved, she said as she took a big gulp herself. Inadvertently, everyone waited until she had half a cup before picking up their cups. Fang Tang's lips were even starting to peel. The boiled tap water tasted sweeter than any drink now. But, oops, Zhong Jinlong drank the most aggressively and was the first to spit it out. Damn it, what is this? Damn it, he spat and spat. It was all blood foam. The others also spat. Zhong Lia spat the most violently, clutching her neck and collapsing on the ground, coughing painfully. Zia No wiped her mouth and turned on her mobile phone flashlight. The bright camera lens revealed that the boiled water was mixed with glass shards, fine glass shards like iron sand. Jin Long stared wide-eyed, spat again and rushed to Zhonglia. What the hell did you boil in the water? Hanya pushed him away forcefully. She didn't do it on purpose either. She couldn't even breathe. Indeed, Zhonglia was the one who was suffering the most. With the help of Hanya and Fang Tong, she managed to cough out a piece of debris stuck in her throat. Her mouth was already full of blood. Don't talk. Hanya pressed Zhonglia down. Your throat is injured. The blood water will block your esophagus. Be careful. Now, swallow it all down. Then open your mouth and take a deep breath. Come. Zhonglia was in unbearable pain, trembling all over. Fang Tong looked at her trembling body and suddenly felt a strange sense of familiarity, as if she had seen her somewhere before. It's tap water. Liu Lawyer was furious at this moment. These bastards, they even designed a trap for the water pipe, just to watch us suffer. He finally lost his composure and stuck up the middle finger towards the sky. Infinite entertainment. IF***K your whole family. But this ... could only make the audience behind the scenes even more excited. The last layer of plastic wrap on the long box was removed. The paper box was torn open and immediately revealed the contents inside. 6 large syringes, disposable needle tips, and a large syringe marked with 300 milliliters. Hanya disappointedly slapped the ground, only syringes and needle tips. This what kind of prop? Even a blood test paper is not provided. This is making us draw our own blood, right? The tiny bit of hope that had just sprung up disappeared. Jin Long rubbed his head and panted, Damn it, damn it. Zhonglia leaned against the dim wall, closed her eyes, and held her knees with her arms, crying softly. Lawyer Liu also lost his last bit of composure and muttered to himself in the same spot, cursing a woman's name continuously in his mouth. The woman must be his wife who wanted to divorce him at the most difficult time. Only Xia Na laughed in this suffocating chamber. With her laughter, Fang Tong let out a soft sigh. Hanya glared at the two of them. What are you two doing? Acting weirdly. Fang Tong reached out to touch the syringe. Dr. Han, this is just a prop. In fact, these props have already hinted us a solution to complete the game. Hanya widened her eyes. Lawyer Liu and Jin Long both leaned in. What's the solution? Fang Tong looked at Xia Na, who shrugged. I'm fed up with these idiots. You explain it. Fang Tong picked up a syringe. The solution is right in the game rules. In the game, whoever draws 300 milliliters of O-type blood will successfully complete the game. Among us 6, there must be an O-type blood player. Based on these conditions, we can use elimination method ... elimination method. Xia Na looked at the confused few with a cold smile. Divide into pairs. Each person draws 300 milliliters of blood from themselves and then gives it to the other person. Fang Tong smiled bitterly. In that case, there must be a group where one of the players successfully completes the task. Liu Zhengnan clapped his leg. Right, divide into pairs. The O-type blood player must be in one of the groups, and the other player in that group will complete the game. That way, we can find the damn O-type blood player. This was indeed the best solution to completing the game.